make you so special? Why did he bless you? Think about it. I woke up this morning. Got a smile when I say that shit. I woke up this morning.
All right, cool. It's gone. That's the first time I've ever started off with that. Got to keep the high energy up, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we have my cousin Mason. What's good? He's been on like a ton of other episodes.
This is my fourth.
Well, actually, the one with Kusha and Michael, I don't know if I accidentally deleted it or if I deleted it intentionally. I could see me doing either one because that was, to be honest, that was like my least favorite podcast.
It was 3 hours long and just random information, pretty much.
Yeah, it was all movies. Like it was just them talking about movies, which is cool. But I don't know if I don't know if I deleted that or not, like intentionally. But regardless, it got fucking lost somehow.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care.
Well, he's a lost voice right now, conveniently before doing a podcast.
Should be good. It's better now. It's not high pitched.
Is what it is. No worries. Well, as you know, I don't know, like playing soccer our entire lives. I played the other night for the IFC football or futsal championship or whatever, and yeah, we won the championship.
Oh, really?
And then you guys were in the semifinals. Mm-hmm. But what I was like wanting to say off of that is like just one of my favorite things in life is competing. Like I just love competing in like anything, regardless of what it is. I don't know, I guess I enjoy certain things a little bit more, but
yeah, I get that. It's fun till you lose, though.
No, absolutely.
You get pissed off. Like high school. Senior year.
But that's like the beauty of it, you know, like everything's on the line.
Yeah, you're not guaranteed to win.
Mm-hmm. Everything's out there. You're just going. Everybody wants the same result.
Yeah,
it's just two forces going at each other with everything they got. Like I just love that, dude. I just love it.
It's fun.
I love the psychology of it. I love the physicality of it.
Feeding into it.
Yeah, like the preparation, you mean?
Yeah, getting into it, yeah. It's fun.
Absolutely.
It takes a lot, though, sometimes. Especially like during soccer season when there was 26, 27 games. Like, getting into it all the time.
Oh, it's hard to, like, keep getting into it. Like, I lost the desire to play a lot.
Yeah, I remember, especially during your freshman year at college is when you lost your desire.
Absolutely. Well, you know what it's like to play a sport and, like, it's the weird thing about whenever you have a real relationship with your sport, like, being able to play, like to go into a game and just be like, wow, I do not want to be here. Like, this, I just don't want to do this right now. But at the same time, like, you've gone into games and it's like, I would rather not be anywhere else in the world.
Definitely polar opposites. I've been on both sides many times.
Absolutely. I guess it's probably a healthy relationship with your sport.
Yeah.
It's probably overdoing it a little bit, but I bet everybody's been there.
Yeah. I could see that.
That's kind of the driving force in some ways behind like this podcast and like whenever I used to make vines and YouTube videos and stuff and just other like genuine curiosities of life, because that would always be, it kind of irk me. Mm-hmm. Like I'd be like, yo, like I love soccer and like I've been playing for like, I don't know, like 15 years and like this is like I've been traveling out of town and like I haven't had any time to do anything instead of soccer. Like I have other interests, you know.
It's hard to do that, especially with club.
Absolutely.
And then you have high school, and then you have club again, and it just never ends.
Well, high school is even more overwhelming in a lot of ways. Yeah.
You had no free time in high school soccer at all.
None.
It was just, you practice every day. You didn't do that in club. It was like 4 days a week.
It's like a real brotherhood, though. I love it.
High school is club. I never got that. I was never friends with my club team players, really.
Do you still talk to anybody from your club team?
No. If I see them, I'll go talk to them. Like,
totally.
There's a couple that go here, but I wouldn't like I don't talk to them outside of.
Isn't that weird how it works, dude? Like, cause I was thinking about that the other day as well. Like, I don't know. For example, like we played high school ball with probably, I don't know, if you want to talk with like just the people on the varsity team. Mm-hmm. I don't know, let's say a rough number of like 50, 60 people.
Yeah.
You know? Would you think like throughout 4 years,
yeah,
all the teams you go on? Yeah. So like 60 people, something like that. And I still keep up with a fair amount of those guys from that team.
Yeah.
Are you the same way? Like, you still talk to,
I
like...
still talk to guys in your class in my freshman year, so...
True.
And I'm probably closer with those guys than I am a lot of guys in my own grade.
Like, it's weird, because in high school soccer, you get, like, really tight with those guys. But at the same time, I mean, you can. At least this was my experience, and I think you can relate as well. But, like, club soccer, I probably played with, like, 300 people at least. And I don't talk to a single person from club.
I only played 3 teams, but I know all of them. Like, I'll go talk to them as a person, but I don't like hang out or anything with them. Yeah, no, it's just club was different. It's guys like we all just had to be there, I guess.
True.
So it wasn't really as passionate or emotional.
It was like, it's weird because, like, the team was better, but you're right, it wasn't like a bond. It was just like individuals showing up that play cohesively, but, like, off the field, we were all individuals. But, like, as, like, the high school thing, and this is not me trying to, like, live back in my glory days or anything like that. It's, like, not to be, like, get confused with that. I just think it's interesting because, like, I thought our, like, especially the scene, like, you know, that was my closest year at least. Like, I thought we were, like, a real, like, bonded team, which was really cool. Like, how tight everybody was, how close everybody was.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially with your class. You guys have a lot of people in your class, too, and you guys are all pretty close. Because you all played from freshman year together to senior year.
True.
So,
it's kind of an interesting experience.
Yeah. It's a lot of time with a small group of people.
True.
Yeah, no, most of my friends I played soccer with, I mean, Sam, Will, Kusha, 3 of my closer friends I played since, well, Will and Sam I played with since I was little. And like Kusha played 4 years of high school with. So, yeah, definitely high school. So even Coach Kyle, too.
Keeping up with the coaches.
Yeah, I quit my soccer team. I've never talked to my club coach again since then. I probably never will. But Coach Kyle would always go back and talk to him.
Totally.
Especially with his troubles recently.
Yeah, true.
Stuff, so.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, that blows.
So on another topic, Maddie, your girlfriend, and I were talking the other night about you. All bad.
Oh, yeah.
All bad.
I bet.
And we were saying how... well, I guess she kind of brought it more to my attention, but like how we both think you're like a pretty empathetic person. And let me this might sound a little abstract, a little bit, but I'm kind of convinced human empathy, because I think as human beings we have this capability like over animals to be empathetic of another person and like really feel like what it's like to be that person, you know, especially if we can like relate to them. But, like, I don't think human empathy is fully, well, like, evolution's still obviously working. It's still at play, so I don't think it's fully evolved, like, at all. I think humans haven't gotten near to their full capabilities of being empathetic of another person, because that's really the only time we can empathize with somebody fully is if we've been in their shoes.
Could be that, or it just could be like the way the culture is, because I mean other cultures are definitely way more empathetic than we are, for sure. I think
that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
I think especially with like the older generation in this country is a lot more focused on like the individual and being the best you possibly can be, and I don't think a lot of other places focus on that. I think it's a lot more cohesive. Okay.
Like a more like interdependent kind of deal. Yeah, I know they say that about like Oriental cultures, like any like Asian cultures, kind of.
Yeah, I can definitely say Middle Eastern. Like I can say, like I mean, I don't really know for sure. I feel like those kind of India maybe might be a good one. I don't know for a fact, but I think you could just see it.
Absolutely
working together more than, because there's a big like FU attitude here compared to a lot of other places.
Yeah. It's kind of like a dog-eat-dog environment here.
Yeah, if you do something wrong, you get shot down. People won't even try to understand what happened.
Good point, man. That probably is a lot to do with culture.
Our culture's pretty crappy, I think, personally.
What are some complaints you have with it? I have my complaints as well.
I think the PC thing is pretty crappy. Like, it's not. I mean, I get being fair to everybody and being kind, but like, it's not like, it's not. I don't think it's possible to be just completely super nice to everybody. I think that wouldn't be like a good life to live, where everybody's just culturally competent, super nice to everybody. Mm-hmm. Sounds bad, but like, I don't know.
So what do you mean by the PC?
Political correctness.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I think people take it too far. I guess.
Maybe with like gender pronouns and things like that.
I think, yeah. I mean, like, to a certain extent, yes, it'd be respected, but like, you can't even like joke around with people. Like, part of being life is like enjoying it and messing around. Like, but you can't even joke about that stuff. Are you just considered a racist? Or are you considered sexist? Or and I don't know. I think like you should be able to like joke around and take it. Like, it's not supposed to be that. I mean, I think people take that kind of stuff way too seriously or way too over, which it makes sense because they've been treated like crap for years and years. But
totally,
I think we're at the point now where they're more respected, I guess.
You're saying like other ethnicities, other genders, gay people, like whatever it may be. Okay.
But I'm also not in their position, so I don't exactly understand.
That's it. That's how I feel too. Yeah, I'm like I would share that opinion. Yeah.
So I can think that, but in the long run, I can't really fully relate to them because I can't. Like, I haven't lived like all the shit they've had to deal with. So.
Yeah, and then it's. I feel like a lot of that debate kind of comes down if they're just trying to use their role in life to play the victim, or if they're like genuinely like getting kind of oppressed.
Yeah.
Because I guess I know the way you see the world, and I know the way I see the world. And like, I don't see like those people as any different.
Yeah, I don't. I could care less about. It doesn't involve me, so it's not my problem. Like,
exactly.
I have no. It's not my business to tell somebody what they can and can't do.
Exactly. So like those things just never even like cross my mind.
And it doesn't even make sense to me when people like specifically like zone out. Like Trump he just banned yesterday. He banned transgenders from the military.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Like I think it's almost all, but except certain cases. And like, I mean, I don't think it's possible whatsoever or reasonable whatsoever. His reasoning was like medical, like it could be like dangerous because of mental issues. And yeah, people have mental issues, but I don't think that's necessarily related to being a transgender. I guess, I don't know.
I would have to know the reasoning behind that, because I feel like with especially with Trump now, like everybody just likes to kind of throw out like they like to react, but like
they don't like to understand.
Exactly. Like they'll read the news article without reading or they'll read the title without reading the actual article. You know.
I think it was on Twitter the other day, and there was like the Austin Bomber guy who was sending out the packages to people, and he was like they'd blow up whenever they pick them up.
Oh my goodness.
There was like the first people he killed was like there was two black, or I don't know if he injured or killed two black guys, and this guy on Twitter went on like this huge rant, assuming that it was just like this race thing, that he was targeting black people, and then like a week later they're like, yeah, no, like he was just doing it to random people, there was no race or anything, like there was nobody being targeted. So he just assumed that just because it was two black guys that it was just a race issue automatically.
I know what you mean. Like whenever people try to point it towards race, whenever it's like clearly not race. That's the victim card that we're talking about. And that's what.
Well, that's what keeps it here in the first place.
Exactly.
Like if people won't stop talking about it. Like in some cases, yeah, it needs to be addressed. But every time something happens, you shouldn't just be like, "Oh, it's a race thing," because then it's never going to go away.
It's so weird too, because like I was kind of living in the mindset, the paradigm, if you will, that racism wasn't really relevant until really this Mike Brown stuff that happened close to our homes in St. Louis.
It's weird how it works.
Yeah, it's gotten such a touchy topic ever since then.
It's something that I think is really hard to measure, I guess. Or like, I mean, I've never had to witness it. Like, I guess, but that's also because of the area we went in. I don't really think people were necessarily racist towards other people. But again, Timberland had its moments, so.
I think so, yeah. I guess people can be like racist to some degree. Like I've experienced minor things of racism, I guess. Like, but for the most part, I don't know. Like the way I see it is like I can only focus on myself. I can only focus on like what I can control. What I can control is to be like not racist and to love everybody. So
I feel bad, but like there's literally like I don't think there's any really solution to it. You can't change somebody's ideals. I mean, you can, but there's no way you're gonna change. I mean, I don't know how many people are racist like that, but that's a lot of people.
It's hard, and I think I don't know. Maybe social media will kind of expose those people. The internet will kind of inform people because racism seems to kind of have deep roots in ignorance most of the time. Like typically there's a strong correlation between the most racist and the most ignorant people.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with the cult, like those people, the older people that seem to be more racist, grew up in a culture where that was not acceptable, but it was common.
Absolutely.
So, like, I think as those people grow older and die, I think there's going to be less and less and less occurrences of that kind of stuff happening.
Absolutely.
Or hopefully, at least.
Because, I mean, it takes... sorry, I cut you off.
No, go ahead. I had nothing else.
Yeah, because we're probably in an age now, like, I didn't even think about this till now, but we're probably in an age now till... that I guess minors are starting to question their parents even more and more because we have so much more information than they did.
Everybody, especially from when they're super young, everybody's connected to each other now.
Right, yeah.
I mean, like social media, YouTube, it's all connected within.
So if you got some dude that's been conditioned his entire life, who's our age, who grew up in Kentucky, whose dad's a racist and hates black people and loves to just hate on black people, so he kind of grew up
it's ingrained
being taught. Yeah, but then at the same time, like now that he has the option of the internet, maybe he's going to start challenging those beliefs. And I mean, if he doesn't, inevitably somewhere down the family line, it will be questioned. So I would assume racism's going to just start to diminish more and more and more.
It'll probably take a while, but you never know, really.
True.
Hopefully, it just happens less and less. I mean, I know I'm never going to do any or target out anybody like that, so...
Do you think it's ethically wrong to treat, like, a black person better than you would treat, like, anybody else?
I mean, yeah, you should. I mean, that's a hard-to-answer question. I mean, I think in situations, especially now, there are situations where they needed to be treated slightly better because... they're slightly they've been slightly trying to look wrong lately, or not lately, but throughout history. So I think they probably do need assistance or like that extra help because I mean they've been treated worse, so they probably should get a little bit of time getting that extra boost. But that's something that they don't want. Like that's got to be careful because they don't want that to get out of hand.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
I think I feel like it's good to maybe be considerate that like okay, like this particular situation has kind of targeted them wrongly, so it's good to be empathetic and considerate of like how they might respond. But besides that, maybe treat them the same. At least that's how I feel. I feel like treat them the exact same, but be understanding that there might be particular or
you gotta acknowledge
actions.
They've had to deal with a lot more growth than we have. I think they did a study that came out a couple of weeks ago. It was by Stanford, where if it was like even in rich or people that were wealthy, that no matter it was a male guy and a black boy, that's what they said. And no matter what situation happened, it was almost guaranteed every time that the black boy would end up getting paid less. No matter what family he came from, no matter what profession it was in, it was almost like guaranteed.
Wow. Yeah, it kind of is a form of oppression. Or is that just a form of the picture that the media, that our culture, that society has kind of painted of black people? Is that kind of a result of it? Like maybe that let's say the shop owner hires two individuals and, I mean, just through like subliminal messages and things of that nature, like black people. He has this certain idea of black people in comparison to white people. He's not racist, but maybe he sees them just because of what the media is kind of shoved down his throat as whatever it may be, like, but like a little bit more negative or maybe a little lesser. I feel like that's the problem we need to overcome. Because I feel like a lot of people think that way maybe because of the black image that's been painted by the media and everything.
Yeah, I can't. Social media is such a mess. You don't ever know what to believe on there.
True.
You have to get information somehow, but like I like Twitter because I can see what's going on. But whenever I read stuff, I never form an opinion based off what I read on the.
Especially off like new topics, like hot new topics. Because I mean the media sources sometimes they just don't know. Like there's no way they could figure out what they're talking about.
Well, they don't know, then they make it sound like the way they want it to sound like.
Mm-hmm.
They just keep feeding on that.
But they may not have all the facts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't. There's been things from time to time where I just read it and it's like, this is so stupid. Like, I can literally, like, see them trying to, like, fake some stuff or put stuff there that isn't there. Or make connections that aren't, there's no connections to be made.
Absolutely. Or like, it's kind of the same idea as, like, doing something and you can clearly tell, like, it's just trying to get a reaction. Like, trying to get favorites, trying to get retweets, or whatever that might be. Whatever, trying to get likes. And you're like, well, it's kind of, sometimes it's dishonest, which in my opinion is unethical.
Yeah.
But attention's a driving force, that's an incentive.
Well, they're businesses now, they're on the stock market, they gotta make money, so that's how they do it.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking lately, college is super stressful, and I feel like it kind of conditions you to stress and like worry and like get kind of anxious.
A little bit from time to time. Only whenever I have tests.
Yeah, true.
Most of the time, I'm pretty ahead of myself. I usually have all my homework done before I even need to do it. So, besides like studying, I usually never. I mean, I'm not really too stressed out, I guess.
Okay.
It's been pretty easy. I mean, it's also my freshman year, so like,
True.
I don't really have a lot to deal with yet. So it's definitely going to change as semesters go by. But especially now, like this semester, like it's been a breeze pretty much. Besides basically my tests. Yeah, I can definitely see it. Like if I got behind, like I could see it being so overwhelming. I just would not know what to do.
Totally.
So, because like that's how my roommates are. They don't, or some of them. Derek and Ryan are usually pretty good, but like some of them, like if they're behind an assignment, they just don't do it. Like there's just, and then it just keeps building up, and then they complain that they got C's and D's, and it's like, well, you should have done the assignment when it was due.
That was kind of my mentality freshman year too, and I kind of fucked myself.
Like I realized that like even though like it's especially with like classes where like homework's only worth 50, 60 points. Whatever, like even though it's not a lot of points, like it's a significant difference maker between, like if you fuck up a test, like that 50, 60 points that got your back to carry you over today, I guess. Like that's what my chemistry class I got like a C in my first test, but I had an A in all the clickers and my attendance and all my homework, and I still have an A in the class because of it.
Oh, there you go.
It's carried me up over it.
Yeah, you get that's something I kind of overlook a lot of the times. It's like I'll just quickly do an assignment just to get it over with. Because it's so tedious, but then I'd lose like small amount of points here, small amount of points here. Absolutely.
Over time.
Yeah, if you can get 100 on everything, then
Not get as many points as you can get, because the more points you get in there is the less points you have to get in a test.
True. Yeah, good point.
Extra credit too. I don't really do a lot of extra credit, but I do it when I can because though teachers will offer like 2-point extra credit. It could be at the end of the semester, and look at the league, you could not get an A because you missed 2 points. You know what I mean? Like, you might as well just do it. Like one of my classes, my chemistry class, he makes it so before the test, if you go ask him 2 questions about anything, you get 2 extra credit points towards the last test, and there's 4 tests.
2 questions about anything?
Like anything chemistry related.
Okay. I was gonna say I could get pretty creative with that. Hey, what's good? How you doing?
Hop on or
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Alright, I'm waiting for Troy to go to the shower. So.
Absolutely.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I was talking about. No, well, it wasn't that important.
It was about like extra credit.
Oh, yeah. So I just go do that, and then that's an extra letter grade on my test because I get 10 points.
Totally.
So, like, why not, I guess.
That would be pretty awesome. He's just like asking me a question about it.
Yeah.
You guys remember those teachers? Here, I'll put the microphone more in the middle. Those teachers that like, I don't know. I have one right now. Like he's very like high energy, very like ADHD kind of deal, and very intelligent. But like I feel like I'm not learning much about the actual class, but I'm learning a shit ton about life. If that makes sense.
Does he just talk about his personal experiences and not necessarily the curriculum?
Yep.
Those are my favorites. Because you can always read a textbook on your own time.
Exactly.
You have an hour class, you might as well learn from him.
He's somebody I've been like kind of thinking I might ask him to come on the podcast.
Alright.
Yeah, just to like meet up in a classroom somewhere.
That'd be cool.
I would not have beer.
Really, that would be
against the guy.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. I don't think you'd...
More something against us than anything.
Yeah, good point.
Probably be weird if you asked him to come to your house to do a podcast.
Hey, you want to come to my basement and do a podcast? You want to come to my dirty basement and have a conversation with me?
It's not finished.
He'd probably be more willing too if you're like, we can just do it after class. He'd probably be like, oh yeah, it's probably the better idea.
What are you guys been talking about mainly?
Yeah, like how we like competing with random shit.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like one of my favorite things in life. Just be able to like, just two forces going at each other. They both know exactly what each other wants, and like only one can win. Like,
yeah.
I just love that.
An immovable force meets unstoppable object.
Exactly. Oh, there's so much. Yeah, just that excitement.
Yeah.
Stress in college, and then human empathy.
I feel like there's a certain level of stress where, like, you probably need, like, let's say you're about to not have food, you're going to starve, like, you should probably stress a little bit. But I feel like stress is pretty much self-created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just worrying about something like a future event when, like, all you have is the now.
Yeah.
So why worry about the future event?
So much, like, anxiety, like, in that.
And it can't help you, for the most part. Again, if it's, like, life or death, it could help you, maybe, but... Finishing an assignment, if you're stressing about it, all it's going to do is take away from your focus to finish the assignment.
Yeah, true. Sometimes I feel like like if you need a particular outcome, then that can place a lot more stress on that. So like if you need, I don't know, say you have to run like a certain amount of mile time. Like what would you guys do if you had to train for, let's say you can run a 5:30 mile and you got to get it down to like a 5:05. Like, what would you like you need a particular outcome, and it's going to require a ton of training. So, I like to some extent, you need to stress about it a little bit, but
you don't have to necessarily even stress. You can just have a goal and just
have a
go
goal.
out and just try and.
with like no attachment to like the outcome kind of deal.
Well, it's like the outcome is your goal, but then you like break down your goal for like what do I need to do now, and then you do what you have to do now to the best you can.
Yeah, just make sure you're getting on top of what you're doing. You should be fine.
But don't you think with that, pretty much any goal you're going towards, like, there will be a tiny amount of stress? Like, just you might even enjoy the stress, too. Like, you might enjoy the,
It might not be bad to make sure if you get too relaxed about it, it might be just like a checkup and make sure, like, you know what I mean?
Totally,
you get too comfortable and you get stressed, you're like, okay, maybe I need to start doing more of this.
I guess what I'm asking is, like, what evolutionary, going off of that, what evolutionary advantage does stress play in achieving a goal?
Motivation, I guess, I would say.
I feel like it can help, but it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Like, you can use it to push you, but you don't have to use stress to push you.
There's other things you can...
Because I feel like stress is just, like, an uneasiness within yourself. Like, you can use that as a positive, because it just depends how you look at it, but, like, you don't have to, like, use stress.
Totally.
So, like, I don't know.
I think there are a lot stronger forces, too.
Yeah, but, I mean, I bet some of the greatest, like, achievements ever have been under stress.
That's also true, whenever you...
Yeah, like the arms race for the nuke. Yeah,
right.
good point.
It's like we're stressing out because we need to get it before they do. Like let's go.
That's a really good example.
Yeah, it's pretty stressful.
Yeah. It's like, we don't want the Nazis to get it, so we need to get it.
Plus, if you're super stressed out and you do it, it's very rewarding.
True.
Yeah.
Or relieving too, I guess. Mentally and physically. I never really get too stressed, I guess.
But like Joe was saying, like it's because you allow yourself not to.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
That definitely is a skill.
I don't know if I don't care enough, or I just know that it's pointless to be stressed out about something that's. I mean, in the long run, it's just a test.
Yeah.
If you fail, you just.
I feel like stress, like if it's for a test, if you're stressed about the test, you're just putting energy to the, I need to study instead of just putting energy to studying. Like, it just seems counterproductive usually.
Yeah.
Because like you're just thinking about I need to study instead of thinking about what you literally need to study.
Do you think there are different kinds of stress? Because like it sounds like you're describing is like it's counterproductive and kind of like resistance within yourself. And then, but if you stress about like there could be like positive stress as well.
Well, I feel like you can use stress as a positive thing, but it's not necessary. Like, you could use it as a positive to, like, we need to get the nuke, like, let's work, and then, like, they probably got it faster than if they didn't stress. But, like, they could get the same result without stressing.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be as...
Do you think you could replace that stress with passion?
Yeah.
Like with anything?
Probably. I mean, you might have to do something you're not passionate about, and then you might use stress to... overcome it.
I'm gonna tilt this so you can.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he's not really in there. I didn't realize that.
Wow!
There you go.
There you go. Let's get up a little bit too.
Cool. It's gonna die anyway, so it's not big deal. But
I feel like you could use passion instead of stress. But if you're not passionate about something, you need to get it done. Then maybe sometimes stress would be a better option because you know you're not passionate about it.
Yeah, true.
Like, ultimately, you could do it without stress, but I couldn't think off the top of my head what I would replace stress with something you're not passionate about.
Probably the only thing I can think is a class that you just don't like at all.
And it's just like, just get it done, don't stress about it.
Just something you need to do.
Yeah.
Totally. That's what I was thinking about the other day, and I think I definitely need to find something I'm, like, super passionate about, like, in life.
Yeah.
Because if you think about like all the like even if it takes me 10 years to find it, like I don't care.
As
like,
long as you have it.
Totally. Like I just need some activities that I'm gonna be like just loving to do, like loving to show up to work and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a lot of people just kind of settle. Which I don't even think it's like an option. Honestly, I just really can't. Like otherwise, I don't think I'll enjoy life nearly as much.
Yeah. So that causes you stress too.
Like a good kind of stress, though. It's like, oh shit, I need to do this.
Yeah,
totally.
Like, find something I want to do. But then you have to be careful that you're not forcing it. Because if you're stressing, then you might like try and force a passion.
True.
So you gotta make sure it's like pure.
I feel like the real passion is whenever you're like at somewhere like desirable. For like example, let's say like this is how I knew like I was passionate about like podcasting, for example. Like I'll be at like a college party or something. And I'll be like I genuinely, it's not even like I'm like not accepting of the, like I still have fun at the place, but like sometimes I'm like, damn, like I would have, like I had fun tonight, I enjoyed it, but I genuinely would have rather been like working on something to get me closer to my goals. Like it's not even like I don't think it's an unhealthy level of obsession. I think it's like I genuinely enjoy doing this more than this.
It's just your interest.
Therefore, I'm going to do this. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's good. And if you're going to achieve big things, you need a certain level of obsession.
Totally.
So, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think more people should probably be like that, if anything.
I agree.
Makes them more dedicated to what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I guess more people need to get more experimental, more exploratory with their what they could be potentially passionate about.
Or maybe they just haven't found their passion yet, so they just inadvertently just go out or something because they don't have anything better to do.
Joe?
I do that a lot. Yeah, so.
There's nothing else to do, so might as well just go out.
Might as well go out. See, you're lucky you found something at age 21.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's what to put your time into.
Yeah.
Well, that is a good perspective to take. That is like, I've never like seen that as like fortunate in a way.
It's definitely fortunate. Some people search their whole life. Some people never find it. So
Yeah.
That's what they're like talking like in the moment and whatnot. Like nothing takes me more into the moment than having a good conversation. Honestly, like I just love like we went 2 hours 45 minutes on the last podcast, and it felt like 15 minutes.
we used to have phone calls for like hour and a half, and it'd be ridiculous. We'd hang out, then the next morning we'd go through our call log, and we'd be like, "Did we really just talk for an hour and a half?"
It's like what the hell? What? It's like it was night or light out when I was beforehand. It's like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Let's get lost in conversation. It's
And
cool.
It's a good thing to get lost in. I've heard of worse,
Yeah,
things.
there's worse ways to get lost. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
true. I get lost watching Two Girls One Cup. That's
Oh,
just,
yeah.
that's my passion.
Nothing gets me more into the now.
It just takes me there, man.
I still never seen it. I'm proud.
Good, because it's
That's not
Nothing
worth
worth
it. No. Not worth it. No.
you can't unsee that. So,
Yeah, so I'm never gonna see it in the first place.
ugh.
Yeah, try to get out of the shower.
I honestly, let's just wait for Trev to get out of the shower and just explain in full, vivid details what Two Girls One Cup is.
Okay.
I'm just fucking with this. No.
Bring him down here.
No, I couldn't, because I had a weird friend growing up in high school who, like, freshman year of high school, he, played them one night, and he's, trying to get me to watch, and he just thought it was so funny, because I literally couldn't watch these,
Is this somebody I know? I feel like.
his name's Cody Adams.
No, okay.
That's a Timberland.
For whatever reason, I thought it was going to be Kyle, but I wasn't sure.
Same last name, though. But, yeah, I just couldn't, stare at the screen without, nearly gagging.
I mean, you
So-
watch for 2 seconds, you're just like, oh my god, what is this? And you just turn it off. That's what I did. I was just like, I never want to see this again.
Oh, so true.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay pure on this one. Never want
Yeah.
I admire that.
to.
You're not missing out much.
Well, Mason helped me delete my. So I had an SD card, and I don't know. Long story short, I didn't know how to delete an SD card, and I had 1,000 files on there. And
1,500 video clips on this SD
Why
card.
would you want to delete that?
because I already have them on my computer,
Oh, so you just want a room?
yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted room off the SD card. He just helped me replace it all. So
Yeah.
super thankful for that. Now I know how to do
There's
that.
lots of space on there. Yeah, I wrote it on there. STHCMP and
in the show notes.
Is that one of those things that goes into a computer?
yeah, it's right
Oh,
there.
that one.
Yeah, it's like a little
Extra
micro.
memory. Dude, that's crazy how something that small can you know what I mean?
It's not even
hold
like
that much.
that's I think they even have bigger ones. They can hold crazy amounts that are just that
It's
size.
crazy.
Technology, man.
This is because this is the size of the normal SD card. Because they have this is called this is the adapter to it, and
Wow.
then so the micro. These are the little ones, and then so I guess so you're saying the macro ones can hold like maybe 128 or something like that.
They probably get way. I mean, I could probably find a crazy sized one. It's a micro USB or what is it called?
Well, these are micro USB.
Micro
SD. My bad. I don't know anything about technology.
I mean, I have my room. I have the 1 terabyte thing. It's literally it's smaller than this, and I've downloaded maybe 10 games on there. And games aren't small anymore. And it still is
Full video games.
it still has plenty of space to go.
Yeah, because the Xbox only hold because you have to download on the hard drive now.
Yeah,
And it'll only have you can only have 8 games on something as big as an Xbox.
And if you have
Oh,
if
wow.
you have the CD, it only downs a smaller portion of the game, and it still can barely hold anything.
I use that in the shower. Alright,
Cool.
real.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the biggest one's 512 gigabytes.
But how many gigabytes?
512.
512. Wow.
So it's
Wow.
it holds a lot of
I
information.
wonder how much that'd be, because I think the 64s are $30 or
These will probably be 100 ish.
might be worth it.
And the thing is, there's a whole lot of space, and they're also super fast.
That's how this thing is, dude. This microphone right here, it saves up a ton of storage. But I think it's just because auditory, my bad, storage is a lot easier to hold than
It's a lot less
video.
information.
Totally.
Just with video, you got auditory and you have visual. Visual itself is a lot.
Absolutely. I think that must be the majority of the storage, I would assume.
Have you seen all the streamers that do stuff. Have you like heard of a guy called Ninja?
Ninja. Nah.
Heard the game Fortnite?
Yeah, totally.
He's a Fortnite streamer. I think they said he makes about $500,000 a month.
Just from streaming his games on like Twitch or something. Mm-hmm. No shit.
Yeah, those dudes are. I mean, their job is literally playing video games for 12 hours a day, and that's all they do.
Would you do that if you could?
Oh, 110%. Yeah, without a doubt. I wouldn't think twice about that.
That's awesome. Dude, that's the... Wait, what were you saying?
No, I mean, go ahead.
That's the one thing about, like, YouTube, like, this YouTube culture that's arisen, like, in the past few years. Like, it's, I would have never guessed that. I never would have guessed that people enjoy watching other people play video games.
Yeah, no, I'd rather play it myself, honestly. Like,
totally.
I just don't really, like, I like watching videos of people playing where it's, like, funny mistakes or, like, stuff happens. Like, I play PUBG, it's super glitchy sometimes, so there's just, like, weird glitches that happen in the game. I think it's funny, but, like, I wouldn't watch for hours somebody just play a video game.
No way.
I guess. I mean,
millions of people are.
I could see people doing it to get better, but like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know really if I enjoy like watching a dude talk to himself for 4 hours straight.
True. So. Like, I don't know. I just don't think one person can be that entertaining with video games.
I think it's for little kids. They think it's funny and stuff and goofy, but like,
true.
I'll be in class and there'll be like 10 dudes in front of me, like just streaming, like Fortnite Ninja, just watching in class.
Just watching somebody else play.
Yeah, why are you watching it like that? Why are you watching it in class? Like you can go to class for 50 minutes and go back to your dorm and stream. It's not that difficult thing to do. Battery's still going.
Probably something just to keep their mind
busy. I wonder.
Yeah, occupied.
I was reading that book and he gave that a name.
What was the name of the book?
Why Buddhism is True.
Why Buddhism is True.
Mm-hmm. But I can't remember. It was like the default. I don't know, it's whatever the part of your brain's called whenever you start daydreaming or whatever. You start thinking.
Like a part of your imagination?
It's just like the actual physical brain, like part of the brain.
Okay,
like part of the process that happens whenever you start daydreaming.
Yeah, I'll, what do you think to Google that? Daydreaming, part of brain?
Process, I guess. Process name. It's like the default something process, I don't know.
Science of daydreaming. Unlike previously thought, the universal phenomenon of daydreaming is a normal part of our cognitive processes.
Yeah.
An area of the brain called default network.
Yeah,
default network? Okay, which becomes more active as the level of external stimulus decreases, is often considered responsible for daydreaming.
Yeah, so that's like whenever you daydream, that's normal, but they did studies of people that meditate a lot and people that were like experts in it, like that part of their brain would be almost like non-existent, like because they just wouldn't. They're just so focused, and there could be nothing going on. They could just be sitting there focusing on their breathing, and there's nothing. Like they can just focus and not daydream.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because I know with meditation as well, it decreases the size. Like I don't know what part of the brain secretes like cortisol, but that's like the stress hormone or whatever. And meditation's been proven to actually decrease the stressful parts of your brain.
I think in general, meditation just like doesn't numb your emotions, but you're not as affected by them. I guess like you realize that they're not real.
Less reactive to those. Yeah, totally. So, yeah, what's up, Trinity?
I was gonna say, do you want to run with me tonight? 'Cause it's supposed to rain tomorrow.
I'm actually going to the gym like right after this podcast.
I know. Do you want to run after, like later tonight?
To be honest, most likely not, but maybe.
Okay.
Because I'll probably run at the gym.
Okay. I was gonna run 3 miles.
Totally.
I just want to know if you want to
Nice, dude.
Are you going to tomorrow?
I don't know. Probably not, 'cause it's gonna rain.
Okay, but yeah, like I'm definitely down to run like a lot.
Okay. All right. I'll just text you when I get back.
Cool.
See ya.
See ya.
I'm still at the podcast. It's fine.
See what?
It's still at the podcast.
Yeah.
It's fine. Damn, I know you run so much. 3 miles is pretty nice.
Yeah, he's cutting weight right now.
It's impressive. It's a lot. It's a long run. My mom's doing another half marathon this fall, I think is what she told me. So she did that. She did a marathon a year or two ago, too.
No way. I don't know. She does this. Like I knew she ran a lot. I don't know if she's like actually done marathons.
She's done like 3 or 4 half marathons, and she finally did a marathon. Now she's getting back and doing another half marathon.
No way. Good for her. That's awesome.
She does a lot. She puts a lot of time into it. I mean, she'll run like 5 or 6 miles a day. Not probably every day, but a lot.
Frequently, yeah. Wow, that's good for her.
Yeah, she loves it.
13.1, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's probably the most in shape adult in our family. I can't think of anybody even close. Like, who's even close in our family? Not to bash, but
on the rushing side,
they're all kind of heavy.
Maybe Scott. I don't know. Like, I feel like Scott goes to the gym.
He lost a ton of weight. I know that. So good for him.
I feel like he at least is active.
Totally.
But like everybody else,
nobody else really does that stuff.
I mean, your dad, he doesn't. I don't know if your dad goes to the gym, but he's not like running, but he's out doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
He's out at the farm doing stuff at the farm, so he's still like active, but he's not working out.
I've been kind of harsh with my dad, like, because I just want him to lose some weight, man. Like I don't know.
You want him to be here.
Exactly. I'm just like, dude, like, I just been blown with them over the years. Like, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse, like, on my part. Because he's so nice and so open to criticism. And I'm just like, come on, Dad, like, you just gotta lose some weight. Like you're getting fat. Or, like, you're fat. Like, honestly, like, you just gotta lose it. Like, because honestly, the way I see it, I mean, he's like 50, he's like 52, 53, something like that. But regardless, like, it's going to be a lot easier to lose in your 50s than it will be in your 60s. Yeah. Like, every day it's only going to get a little harder to lose weight, so you might as well just fucking start now.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it'd be hard because I feel like he's, like, I don't know, like, he always seems like he's busy whenever we're at your guys' house. I feel like he wouldn't have as much time. Like, whenever we're at your house, like, he's either gone or he's doing something, especially with the farm stuff.
Especially, yeah, this past year he's been, 2017 was like a crazy year for my father. Like, a crazy year.
So... But, I mean, it's good. I mean, he might not be working out, but he's still out. Like, he's not sitting inside all day in the office cubicle. He's outside mowing lawns, working, moving stuff. So
still not burning calories, and I don't know what he eats like. I don't know what his diet's like.
I don't think I've ever really seen him eat anything before.
Oh, really? He sometimes, dude, he eats dessert pretty frequently. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot more than he should be. I don't know. Like, again, like, the way I see it is, like, and this is the way I've always seen it, is whenever you put, like, bullshit in your body... Well, one, you're gonna get bullshit out. Like, that's gonna become part of you, and it's gonna turn into fat, and terrible energy and stuff. But I don't know. It's just temporary satisfaction, you know. Like that. Whenever you're eating food, like it's only a temporary pleasure. Like, if your objective is to lose weight, then like why not just be able to just say no to food for a little bit, or say no to the wrong foods.
They like that dopamine burst. They can't get over it. That small 2 seconds of. I think once he realizes that it's just a feeling, and that he could eat a lot of other foods that give him that same exact feeling.
True.
They cover that topic in the book too. It's weird. They talk about like the pleasure, like in your brain, how like it was to. He relates it back to like primitive times where like whenever they would eat like berries and fruits, they would get that positive feeling, so they would go back and eat those berries and fruits again. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew they weren't poisonous, they were sweet, they were good for them. But that was never designed to deal with like donuts and stuff like that. Like that's not like natural.
Totally.
So it's like it's a primitive process that's getting abused in today's world.
Absolutely.
So,
and we're kind of playing upon those desire for sugar because we didn't have an abundance of it in the past.
Well, back then that was like a sign that it was a healthy food. That's something, because you never, like when you ate stuff, you didn't know if it was going to be poisonous or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Wow.
So whenever they ate food, like it was sweet. Bitter foods tend you probably did it in your biology class at Timberland, but it was they give you those strips and you lick the strips, and some people tasted bitter, some people didn't taste bitter.
But it's the same exact chemical?
Yes.
It's just how
it's your genetics.
Really?
But that gene was originally used that, like, if you ate a bitter food, like, you'd spit it out because it was gross.
Right.
But probably because the bitter food was going to be poisonous. It was going to kill you.
Okay.
So it's like it was a gene. It was used back then as a primitive, like, a primitive genetic, but now it's not really as useful as it used to be.
Absolutely.
So,
well, didn't you say a lot of that book is relating back to what, like a lot of our evolutionary traits that we have now, like they're not necessarily even useful at all.
That's what he says. Like in reality, no feeling you have is necessarily useful in today's world. It wasn't designed to be used. Like in today's world.
I think people need to be more mindful about that and like understanding of that. It's easy to forget though.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't. I mean, I could see where it came from, but I didn't really connect those kind of like the bigger picture dots from that.
Totally. And like we were talking about earlier with stress, I think this is kind of the safest time to ever be alive in a lot of ways, and we're kind of finding ways to just stress out about nothing. Like we're kind of creating problems that don't exist when we could be like focusing a little bit more on what does exist, what's right in front of us. Which I think we do, but sometimes we stress about them a lot more
than we need to.
Absolutely.
In the end, it's a test. It's not the end of the world if you fail. Maybe you don't get into med school. You don't get into med school. There's millions of other things you can do.
Totally. I was reading a book. I was actually reading that funeral we went to for our great grandma. I was reading this book. I had it in the car. I don't know if you saw it. But I read it before then. But it's called Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. It's basically he just sat down and interviewed a ton of people. He's all about optimizing performance, and so it's like a whole bunch of people different takes on things. And something I found as a reoccurring trend throughout the book is he asked the question pretty typically, if you could give your 20-year-old self advice, what would it be? And most people, they say everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah,
everything's gonna be fine. You know?
It is. I mean, in reality, it doesn't matter. I guess that's how I would put it.
Honestly, because that's kind of a philosophy called nihilism, where that nothing has any meaning, kind of dealing. Honestly, at first that kind of sounds depressing, but I kind of adapted that mentality a little bit whenever I stress out about things. I think that's a really healthy way to look at things. You're stressing over, this doesn't even really matter that much.
I mean, you don't want to take that. You don't want to abuse that either, too. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
If you're studying for tests, this doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do something else. You know what I mean?
True.
I feel like that could be abused very easily.
No, that's unhealthy.
Or use it as an excuse to not do something.
I think the healthiest way to use that mentality is if we want to keep relating it back to school, is I have 5 hours till this test. I'm really stressed about it. I don't think I'm going to do that well, but all I can do is do as well as I can in these 5 hours, and then do as well as I can when I'm in the actual test. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus my time and energy on it, and whatever the outcome, whatever results I get, that's what it is.
That's the best I could do, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And exactly. Yeah, so I might as well not stress about it.
Then next time what not to do. Next time I'm going to study earlier for the test. I'm going to make sure that I'm not put in that situation again.
Absolutely.
Learn from your mistakes.
Prepare for it.
But I feel like a lot of people don't do that. You know what I mean? They just don't prepare for the test. They're like, oh, fuck it, oh well.
Totally.
Maybe next time. I mean, I don't know.
Well, a lot of aspects of life. You're totally right.
I can see that in my roommates. I mean, they don't study. I really don't think I've ever seen Will study or do homework for a test ever.
Oh, really?
He probably, I'll say he doesn't. I've never seen him do it.
Right.
So, that's also just because at this age, people, that to them, school's not important. It's more about being the cool guy or going out to the bars and bringing back girls.
True.
Stuff like that.
That's what I've noticed, though, is some people, the first 2 years kind of get weeded out, which is why I think that's why they kind of have the intro-level courses, because a lot of people kind of fail out or get stressed out. Yeah. I'm close. I mean, and I'm not judging, because I've been really close to considering dropping out, just going home. I've gotten really close to, I don't know if I told you this, but I failed out of college at one point and went to OTC. And then I got a 3.85 or something there, and I was like, damn, I got to try now. So then I did well there, and then got my GPA back up, and now I'm trying to get into the College of Business. That's why I'm taking those communication classes.
You told me that you had to get a higher GPA. I'm lucky enough that I've never I don't say allowed myself to get that be in that situation, but I've just been lucky enough to be genetically just smart enough that I've never really school's come easy to me, I guess.
Totally.
Like, I've been able to adapt to the situation and thrive in it without a lot of stress or worry.
I would say, yeah, like your innate intelligence is applicable to school, which I would say, because I always thought, like, we have different types of intelligence.
Yeah.
And, like, mine, it's not that I'm bad at school, it's just, like, I have a lack of interest.
Yeah.
Which, for a while, I used to think was a bad thing. I don't know if that's necessarily bad, though, because I still have my interests, and I have a lot of curiosity for life. But a lot of the classes that we're required to take, I just personally don't.
And they're not
share
really
much.
they're not designed for the way your intelligence works either.
True.
You know what I mean,
well, like if I don't have curiosity in something, therefore that's not gonna result in any passion. If I don't have any passion in something, then I'm not gonna be able to perform at optimal performance. That's just the way I am. I think that's the way most people are, but I'm like very extreme with that. Like I was saying earlier, like I need something to be passionate about, otherwise I won't thrive, I won't succeed.
I usually try, like, at least this semester I had some classes where I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this, but I always find a way to be like I'm taking economics and social issues. I thought that'd be super boring, but I still found a way to, like, be intrigued at what I'm learning. Like, I still find it interesting that I'm learning about stuff that I never thought I would learn about.
Totally.
So...
Typically for me, it's most classes I can find something interesting in. To some degree, some of them, but some, dude, it's just like, why?
I try my best.
Why?
I've also been blessed with having, like, good teachers and good classes.
That's something I appreciate for sure.
Which I've enjoyed. Like, one of my classes, she's super cool. She takes her, like, you don't have to go, but she'll take her class of skydiving at the end of the semester, yeah. She does that. And she also does a study abroad trip with all our classes. They go hiking. She went through Spain the last couple of years, but she's going through Scotland this year.
Okay, wow.
So she's a pretty, like, cool, interesting person.
Well traveled too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, like, we're going through Beowulf again. I literally read that last year, so I thought I was gonna hate it, and I thought it was gonna be super annoying. But, like, I haven't minded. Like, I've read more this semester at Beowulf than I did ever in high school.
Oh, really?
Which is bizarre to me, but.
Just bringing a fresh new perspective to it.
Mm-hmm. Which has been good. I like that. I don't mind it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But yeah. Also that and my fucking intelligent part is I went to my academic advising meeting. He goes, it's a little cocky, but I like it. I thought it was cool. I was sitting there, I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do in the class. He goes, well, when you say that, that usually means an A or a B. For most people, it's usually a C or a D. I was like, that's interesting perspective. Like, that's a good thing to hear.
There you go.
I agree with that. I could never let myself get a C in a class unless there was nothing I could do.
Yeah, but there's some classes out there like I'm just that hard.
I'm sure I'm going to get a C in organic chemistry, and I'm sure it's going to be inevitable, but I'm going to try as hard as I possibly can not to get a C. Like I'll spend 10 hours studying if I have to. I mean, I don't really care that much. So, that's how Chem 2 is going to go.
Who knows? You might pull out with a B too.
That'd be nice. I usually got A in there right now down in Rolla.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. That man also, he has studied so much throughout high school that he has, like, perfected it for himself, I guess.
Okay.
So,
Probably studies a lot in college, I would assume.
yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, and he's just, like, everybody learns differently, and he's found the way that, like, is perfect. Like, because he studied, I mean, I think he took the ACT like 7 or 8 times. Mm-hmm. He would study hours and hours before each one.
Yeah.
And then he finally, I guess, eventually he went from like a 26 like a 32.
That's
he
crazy.
jumped crazy because I think is what happens. He found the way that worked for him to study.
Okay.
And it reflected. I mean, he got in. It's the for Ra, like he took Calc 2. I think he got like a 98% in the class. Like he found out what works for him, and he's been able to do it, and it's worked perfectly for him so far.
Wow, good for him.
He's just a smart guy too, in general. So
your phone case kind of looks like a little pocket Bible.
yeah, remember the Bible we used to have in like 8th grade?
Nah.
I actually had a book, and it had like the Holy Bible on the side with the cross.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It looked similar to that?
It was the same exact design, but it was just a Bible. It just looked like a book. It had like a little bookmark up here, and you could pull up. It looked like I had like a little chapter, so I'd sit there in class like this, like I was reading my little Bible. And my teachers knew it wasn't one, but I still thought it was funny anyways.
Yeah, it's that little screen, the hole right there for your camera is probably what gives it away.
Yeah.
That would be funny though if you.
Well, this is for the phone, so if I'm like talking, I can just go like this. So I have to sit there like this.
Well, I meant for like the other side of the camera.
Oh yeah, like it gives it away a little bit too.
You should. It'd be funny if you could like get like Holy Bible printed on there or something.
Yeah, but you can still buy them. I just didn't feel like.
Wait, like a fake phone case that it like pretends to be a Bible?
Yeah, you can buy them online right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so surprised. I feel like they have everything on the market if
There's
there's a demand for it.
I got it from my dad at first too. My dad had it, and then he's like I stretched it below there. Do you want the phone case? Me being in 8th grade, I was just like, of course I want this phone case. This is awesome.
That's funny.
So, I don't mind it. I kept losing my wallet, so I had to get something that I could keep my stuff in. This is perfect.
There you go. That's how I like it too, man. I like I have my keys and all that stuff in one spot. I just prefer to have everything at once. Like go all in with it, because then I don't know. I feel like it's just easier to keep up with one thing instead of a ton.
Plus, it looks professional. You know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
Pull it open like I got the little book. You know, and scroll to my phone.
Get the little pocket pen for your phone out.
I was thinking about it. I was like, that's too much money. Do you see that? The what's it called? Casein protein bag. I showed you that, didn't I?
Yeah.
I think it's nice. I don't think I'm ever gonna run out of that ever.
So you did buy some?
Yeah.
Yeah. You sent me a picture with your hand in it. Yeah. Okay.
It's literally like it's like this big.
Oh, that's awesome.
$15.
It's awesome.
Gonna last me forever. But I don't. Do you have? I mean, obviously you have to work out to get bigger. But do you think I should still take it when I don't work out?
So like, let's say for example, you work out 3 days in a row, and then you're resting. So like, your 4th day you're resting. Yeah, I would say still take it.
Okay.
Because you're still recovering your muscles, and like that rest day still has a purpose. So
Okay.
yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. I will.
Do you understand like the point of casein protein in comparison to whey?
I don't know the difference. I read up on online why it was important to take it before you sleep, and it said that it was important because your body recovers and rebuilds while you sleep, and that's like almost a 30-year day you're asleep. So you want to have protein in your system to be used to build muscle.
It's something with the I don't understand how it works. I just know like it does it, but like it's more of a gradual like breakdown versus like whey protein. Like most of it kind of gets the nutrients kind of get absorbed within like 5 hours, but like casein protein it lasts most of the time you're sleeping.
It's hard to break. It's probably a larger chain of amino acids. It's probably hard to break down.
Okay.
That's what I would assume. Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't know.
All right, I really got pee.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna say you want to call us quits on this?
We got a solid hour.
Cool.
The camera died too.
Yeah. Rest in peace, the camera. It's dead. It's donezo. I should have charged it. That's all me.
Yeah.
No worries.
Well, when did it die?
It died like we probably like 20, 30 minutes ago. Probably.
Oh, not too bad.
Died a while ago. Kind of limits me on highlights, but it also saves me time. So like I only have a few clips of highlights I can choose. So that's what it is.
Perfect. Oh yeah, I'm about to pee myself.
Oh yeah, you should just pee down your leg.
Oh
right
yeah,
here.
that'd be fantastic.
All right, cool. Well, do you have any last words? Is that just you're gonna pee yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna pee myself real quick, but I'm good.
Okay, your voice is a lot better. I gotta say that.
The water helped, and it's kind of gross, but like I kept coughing, and I got the crap out of my throat, and it helped it out a little bit.
Do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do.
So.
Yeah, because whenever you first came over here, it was like
a 5-year-old girl. Yeah. I sent a video to Maddie, and she goes, "Oh my God, what is wrong with you?" I woke up and I started talking, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is gonna be bad. This is not gonna be good."
First thought was the podcast, and you were just like, "No."
I knew last night too. It was just like, I already know this is gonna be a mess.
That's
it's already bad. By the time I went to bed, like my voice was almost gone. So
that's funny.
I was walking around talking to them all night. They were walking around like a bunch of chickens with their head cut off because they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's rough. Wow.
Cool. Well, that concludes episode number 64. We can square root this bitch. 8 squared. It's episode 8 squared. Yeah. All right. Cool. Deuces.